Can you get fired for what you post online when you're off the clock?
College. The road in, he was coming inbound to town. I was going out, so the speed limit were going. His was descending and mine was increasing. So he's told me from the other side I was speeding. Now why would I say agree to that?
Something like you would fill out a form like, I'm canceling my subscription. I don't want cable no more because. Welcome to another episode of Tailor Made Conversations, and as you can see, we're multiplying, right? So we got our Gen Z co-host Kanaya, and now we have brought in I don't know what to call this person here. I'm just gonna say Morgan, the lawyer, is here now to assist in the legal commentary and to probably say something that you guys will laugh at me about. And so let's get started let's talk about some hot topics or some conversations that people are talking about. Kanaya, what do we got?
Well, first I want to know, can you get fired for what you post online when you're off the clock?
And from a millennial. I know we have a boomer here. No, I'm just playing.
Whoa,
Ooh.
like I said,
Ooh.
it started quick. It started quick.
Okay. Nah, boom.
No, that's what they called me in college. Boom, boom. Oh, go ahead.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you definitely can get fired for sure about what you post on the internet, whether you're on the clock or off the clock. While I at first did not necessarily agree with it, but one time I was an entrepreneur before I came here, so I had to start thinking from a different perspective, which I do think it's hard for people to do. To grasp that concept. It's not just about you and how other people view it.
Hell yeah, you can get fired. I'm gonna tell you why. So you get on and you post something that is extremely volatile, right? Like, I'm going to do something to a certain sect of people or this or that, and people see that, and then they find you, and some people like me, I don't have Twitter fingers. Give me your address and save yourself some gas money because I'm coming, right? And so if someone shows up at an office and your coworkers are unaware of what you posted out there, problem.
And I didn't even think about that.
I didn't either.
And I used to work for Match.com, and people they have a lot of death threats and bond threats there from people that are online. But yeah, you're right.
So that's from the boomer standpoint. And so that's the one thing. Second thing is you work for me, and I have you meet with a high profile client or a client period. And you got an OnlyFans, and they were scrolling through and saw an advertisement for your page. Now they are looking at me like, Mr. Taylor, what kind of operation are you running? Not saying there's anything wrong with that if that's your bag, but at the same time, if you're employed with someone, your bag now also could affect their bag.
Well,
And you know what? I actually just saw the story on Instagram. This girl said her friend convinced her to do OnlyFans. She was like, "Hey, girl, in 6 months, we're gonna get paid." 6 months from now, she'd only made like $800 at this point. And her boss apparently was one of her. Her boss was apparently one of her subscribers, and he was probably watching her for another 6 months. And then one day he called her in and was like, "Hey, we're letting you go." Well, why he wouldn't let go for being a subscriber, I'm not sure, but she's the one to put the content out there. So she was like, "Oh," and so she was like, "It wasn't worth it. My morals were," and all the things that she went through. But all in all, what you put on the internet, you don't know who's watching. It can stop you from getting your next job. I'm a commentator. I love reading the comments, but some of those comments are rude. I mean, you find out people are racist. You can find out a lot of different things about your coworkers. And what you don't realize, they are page watchers. The last job I had, I go out on the weekends. I have a good time, okay? If you watch my page and you don't like it, I was like, don't watch your page then.
Speaking of that, the last weekend I was watching your page. We're going to talk about that after this. All right? We're going to talk about that.
But I do feel like there is a difference between, like you said, millennials, Gen Z, Gen X. We are all different. How, they're more conservative. We're more living out loud. I think I saw something where you posted that y'all a little bit more emotional intelligence. I think y'all can separate the artist from the art.
Yeah.
Y'all can separate the person from going out. It's a lot of things going on right now with attorneys saying, this is my attorney on the weekend and this is my attorney in the courtroom on Monday.
Period.
I think you can live with both lifestyles, but I do understand that people judge you for it, and that might not be your ideal audience or your ideal job if you would like to live your life how you like to live it.
No, not to cut you off, but hell no.
No.
They do not separate the art from the artist. Y'all invented cancel. Like, cancel was
We
something.
did.
Cancel was something like you would fill out a form like, I'm canceling my subscription. I don't want cable no more because HBO it costs too much. But you guys, I mean, if someone wears the wrong designer, right?
Well,
And that designer said something that ruffled the feathers of your generation, y'all like, canceling him. Don't buy his music.
People have
'cause-
short memories.
Yeah, they are goldfish. They are very much goldfish. But at the same time, y'all invented
we
the council.
did. We kind of did.
Yeah, y'all.
They call us the sensitive generation.
I mean, y'all are sensitive, but at the same time, well, when it comes to specifically when it comes to like maybe expressing yourselves,
Mhm.
y'all will do that. So like if like
Yeah.
my version of decompressing from work and lawyer life and mom life is I go out with my girls, we're gonna go dinner, and you might see us dancing on tables at some point of the night, you know what I mean? But you know, we're gonna go home and you know, the son
You're
might
gonna
be at
snap
home
back.
every once in a while, but we're gonna have a great time. But that does not mean that on Monday I'm not ready to go because I am.
Exactly. And we can appreciate that as Gen Zers. We can. It's just certain things we can't appreciate. Some things you got to get canceled.
And I think some things, that's what y'all generation did it in private. We just so
Mhm.
happen to have
Social
screens
media.
and cameras in front of us all the time.
You know, my generation is like this. Say what you want to say.
Mhm.
Just don't step in my house with that.
And including your job.
Because if you step in my house with that, what you guys quoted, you're gonna find out.
Yeah.
FAO.
Got to.
You gonna
Got to.
you gonna find out. Because that was my golden rule, man. You can say whatever you want to say over there. But you
Mm.
step over here,
You got to be respectful.
no, you will be made respectful.
Oh.
So
I do like that.
yeah, we
Okay.
didn't really play that. We didn't really play that like that. So what else do we have out there to talk about? What else we got?
Well, quiet quitting versus knowing your rights.
Quiet
And
quitting.
Quiet quitting, in just in case anybody doesn't know, quiet quitting is where you go to work every day, you still keep showing up, but you're not playing the game anymore. You might not be turning your assignments as fast. You might not be
Is that what you're doing?
oh,
you know when people before they put that 2 week notice in, you know, things like that. They're on Indeed every day looking for a job. And
Mhm.
stop looking at me.
Can you put in the next question is, can you put in a 2-week notice after only being here a week?
yeah.
That's a good
I'm
question.
gonna keep showing up. Don't worry about
All right,
it.
all right.
I'm sick of
I'm
you
just,
already.
you know what? I'm just getting my jabs because I know I'm gonna get hit.
Mhm.
So I'm gonna throw some punches first. That's my generation. You know what I'm
See,
saying?
and that's
Okay,
your problem.
okay.
That's
That's
why y'all cancel culture came.
Yeah.
That's why.
If you swing and miss, I'm connected.
Oh, you gonna be like that man that had his.
No, I'm not like him. I'm not like him. I'm not.
No, you gonna hit.
Yeah.
That's everybody hitting.
Yeah, that's everybody I'm hitting.
I can't believe that man.
I'm taking your top off. But quiet quitting, I get that. There are some people, but you know what? On the flip side of that, employers watch stuff like that. Like
Mm.
quiet as kept. If any of my staff is watching this right here, no, I watch body language and I monitor everything. Everything. Not just because I want to pry on you,
Mhm.
but when you own a business or you operate or manage a business, you're responsible for your clients. Your staff is your team. They're here to support and assist you at getting what needs to be accomplished for your client. And if they're quiet quitting, you know, let me just go ahead and loud fire.
Hold on, but on the flip side, I feel like that is a good time to maybe figure out, because sometimes stuff is conversation, right?
Right.
Hey, well, why are you feeling like this, or why are you acting like this? But it takes honesty on both sides to be able to have the conversation, and maybe you can fix the broken part of the relationship before you loud quit or loud quit, loud fire.
Quiet quit, loud fire.
Mm-hmm.
And I have gotten better with that. I've gotten better with it because my generation, unfortunately, you know, what's that movie with Big Mama?
You talking about with
Soul
Marlon?
food.
Soul food, right? Like we the generation that had uncle in the room. Everybody knew something was wrong with him, but nobody said anything.
Mm-hmm. No
Like,
intervention was
yeah,
being had.
like we ain't talking about it. We just gonna keep him in there, slide a plate under the door, and keep life moving and act like nothing happened. And so I'm getting better. I've gotten better at addressing those issues up front and initially, and not letting it fester so it becomes a problem. So I agree with you
Yeah.
at spending time to understand and bringing the employee in. It's called counseling.
Mhm.
or coaching.
And most of if you can figure it out, you can. If you know, sometimes what if it's just financial? They have new issues at home, or they're like, oh, you know what? They feel unappreciated. I mean, sometimes it can be so simple, but sometimes it's not. Right? Y'all don't get along. You might have, personnel issues. Personalities don't clash. That's fine. But yes, people will quiet quit. They will be on Indeed. They will be taking lunch breaks to go on an interview, and you see it in their productivity.
Loud fire.
I mean, I ain't gonna lie. I've had a couple of jobs where
Yeah, you not only do you not you. I don't even know what you call your quitting.
She just leaves.
No, she told the story on here one time.
Okay, now
She woke up late and she was late for work again, and so she was like, I just quit. I was like, did you tell them I quit? No, I just didn't go.
I just didn't go.
Yeah.
Because my thing is, I feel like it gets to a point where it's a little disrespectful. Like I'm 3 hours late. I might as well just go back to sleep and not go in.
Well, and then I don't have the time to talk to. We know you're gonna ask me why I'm late, and the only answer is because I am.
Because exactly, like, what do you even say?
I don't even know if I'm sorry at this point because I really messed up.
Because then it's like you come in late, then you show up with food, and you sit in the break room, you eat your breakfast before you go in, and it's just like
that is disrespectful.
That's
she
what
already
I'm
knew.
saying.
That
So it gets to a point where it's like you just got to take accountability. Like, come on, just don't go back, get yourself together, take accountability, and regroup. Just regroup.
I feel like Big Boy. They're like, you just gonna hit me in the face with the money, huh? That's just disrespectful.
You didn't even want your paycheck at that point. You didn't even work for it.
Yeah, we're gonna have to.
You owe them some money for you playing in their face.
During the intermission, y'all pray for that generation. Because
Please.
not only they showing up late, but they're gonna eat breakfast. And then they're gonna take their 15-minute break.
You still want all the breaks.
Yeah.
You still want all the breaks.
My full lunch. Both breaks, full lunch. Why the extra break?
I still don't believe that people don't get paid for lunch breaks, but whatever.
Thank you.
I can't believe people work. It's 8 hours and then dinner lunch. It's you work not.
Thank you.
Like, that's why I wouldn't mean.
And that's what I'm saying. Gen Z, we're really changing the game.
So I see a new coaching moment that will take place.
Right.
I see a new coaching moment that will take place after. So what's our next topic?
Okay. So I do want to know, TikTok has a lot of advice, legal advice on there. And so what are the dangers? How can we navigate TikTok advice? Legal advice.
So one of the things you should always do
Mhm.
is check and verify, right? Check and verify. If you put in, like if I told you, police officer walks up to you and he needs probable cause or reasonable suspicion, you got to remember too that each one of us usually operate within our own state. And so that legal advice might be valid in that particular state, but not valid in others. So like, for example, here in Texas, we call it driving while intoxicated, DWI. In other parts of the country, they call it driving under the influence. And so those two terms almost give you an indication or shows you that sometimes the laws are different. And you have to go and look at those laws. So any advice that you get, it's more of a reference than anything else, right? Like even if I told you something, it's more of a reference. If you're in the state of Texas or you're in Oklahoma or you're it's us. So you anywhere in the country, if you have a case, you can call us and we either are licensed there or we have an attorney there that can help you. But if you have an attorney and they're in one particular state, it would behoove you to find an attorney in that state and verify what you were told.
It would behoove you. Yes.
And that's one of the words I like perhaps is also one of them.
It just sounds more professional. Like, okay.
But and also when it comes from TikTok information, everybody's facts are different. And also just saying on a criminal tip, even if somebody tells you, say if you are in Texas, you listen to a Texas attorney, you listen to a Texas attorney who does criminal, because that also matters. Like if your matter is not, if they specialize in this, we can use their specialized list board, but if this is their lane, don't be trying to get contract advice from them. Go to the contract attorney to talk about those things. Because I don't do criminal law like that. So if you ask me a criminal question, I know the gist of it, but you need to go talk to him because he can probably give you more information. So, that'll help you too. But we learn it all, but we don't continue to practice in that. But I say all that to say, just because somebody tells you what to do, he said probable cause and things like that, right? If you get pulled over by the police and you're like, well, I got all this knowledge and you can use it all to your best ability, you can still go to jail, okay? Okay, watch how you talk to these people, okay? Because at the end of the day, I have to stop. Yes, you can be trying to do street law room legal tactics, but baby, you can still go to jail. We have to figure out what they missed on the back end. So just because you know all these things, you feel like you've watched these TED Talks, these free speech on TikTok, does not mean that you are using it appropriately, because this is what you're watching something for a minute?
Yeah.
For something we went to school for 3 years and then have been practicing And I mean just the law part, not the undergrad. But so just be careful trying to take those things into real life because the mechanics on how they're used are not always something that they didn't break that part down to you.
So, okay, real quick,
Okay.
because I saw a video where this man, he was basically saying if the police gets behind you, you can keep going. Like if they're pulling you over, you can call the police station and just like keep going until you get to a spot where you're comfortable with stopping.
And they can still cite you for resisting arrest or evading. Yes, that happens to one of my friends. He went to a jail because it made his probation revoked that he was already on revoked because that's what they cited him on. Then he went to prison for 2 years.
So her friend should have called the real life lawyer because that wouldn't have happened. And I'll say it. I was getting pulled over in Arlington, Texas, off of 30, and my son we were running late for track practice, and so I put on my emergency lights. I dropped down to 50, and I got into the far right lane until I could exit. And the officer walks up to the car. Why are you running from me? I said, sir, you can stop articulating evading arrest right now.
Right now.
The law says I have an absolute right to stop somewhere where I'm safe. And this freeway, because I do personal injury law, there are more deaths on this freeway than anywhere else in North Texas. And so I'm looking out for both you so you can go home to your wife and children. And so my son and I can go on about our lives. So I did you a favor.
Period.
So please write this ticket. I'll see you in court, and I'm not paying a thing.
Yes. And make it snappy, please. I have things to do.
Exactly. But you have to be careful, right? So one of those things that you have to do is put on your emergency lights, slow down to basically 20 miles per hour.
Okay.
Get into the far right lane, and you can call 911 and just let them know what you're doing and articulate. So there's a record. There's a record to say, hey, look, I'm not evading. It's just dangerous. There's no lights here. I'm a woman, especially if you're a woman, right? And so, just
R.I.P. Sandra Bland.
And I'll just say too, just because you're a police officer, just because it's a police officer, doesn't mean you won't get raped. And if anybody wants to disagree, Google police officers convicted of rape. It happens. And so you want to make sure that you stop somewhere that's well lit and potentially has cameras and articulate when you get out, officer, I wasn't invading you. I just wanted to stop somewhere where both of us felt safe. Because if it's dark and you can't see and I make a certain movement, you might feel threatened. And I'm nervous as hell because I've seen all the videos of you guys in your target practice. And so let's make sure both of us go home.
Target practice. Philandro Castillo, sorry to you too. But yeah, so yeah, that's what we say about TikTok law.
See, when I say TikTok, I'll be like, TikTok? Are we TikToking? TikTok?
So, if you ever are pulled over by the police, like what are the things that you should do when you are stopped? What should you do?
Relax, first and foremost.
Okay.
Because the it could be very hostile. Now, we don't go out and say we're lawyers. They don't know when they're pulling us over who we are. Now they might know who he is because this big Hank up here.
Watch out.
Big laugh, okay.
Watch out.
But it depends on how hostile they get in the conversation with me because I'm gonna let you know. Hold on now. You got the right one if you want to play. But be relaxed. Everybody know you need your license out, insurance card, those things. They can already check your insurance, but they still gonna ask for it. Actually, they didn't ask for it my last stop. But anyway, have your ID on you. If you don't have your ID, pick a picture of your ID on your phone, show them so they can identify who you are. They'll typically tell you what's going to happen. You see that second police car, though, I advise you try to make a phone call. And I don't know.
You know what? To that point, those of you who have iPhones, there's a program that's already on your iPhone, and I'll search and try to find it and make sure we attach it to this post. But you could say a word, a phrase, and your phone will automatically turn on the camera, start recording, and send it to your loved ones without turning on the camera. They won't even know that the camera's on. And so there's a feature on your iPhone that does this. You know what, Apple? Send me a check because I'm selling something here. But it's a great feature to have on your phone. I have it on mine. And so you want to make sure that you're very, like Morgan said, man, just be respectful, right? I can't tell you how many times police officers have come up with their hands on their guns, tense. And they walk up and I said, officer, how's your day? They're like, huh? What? How's my day? Wait a minute. What?
Mhm.
And usually they give you a warning because you probably really weren't speeding. They were really stopping you
To meet their
just
quota.
or to see if there was something else going on, right? And so stop driving around smoking weed in your car because if you do that and they legitimately smell it,
Instant probable cause.
they're coming in, right? Don't give them an excuse. And man, come on, man, stop doing this. Stop walking around with expired stickers and lights out. You are at, hello, officer, come right in, harass me. And if you're having a bad day, beat me if you like. But
Okay, right
but
again.
you
Right.
don't invite them to stop you. Don't make your lawyer's job hard, right? Because if I want to argue that they stopped you on a racial basis, and I say, well, his window's clear, they're not tinted clearly, and he's like, no, I saw him because he had a light out, or I can see his expired tags.
Or no license plate in the front.
Yeah, and so you ask to be stopped because the law says they can, and so therefore you're asking. So you can argue with me all you want, like whatever. Yes, they do. So don't do it and avoid that particular issue.
Do you have to answer where you're coming from?
I didn't answer
No.
any questions, to be honest.
I don't answer nothing.
Oh,
I don't answer nothing.
I mean, but again, it goes back to that. Do you want this to be easy or do you want this to be hard? He just don't have to know his rights. And again, he's going to get himself off. You or the other people in America might not have the opportunity. Do you understand? So it depends on how you want the traffic stop to go. So, I mean, if you got a chatty Cathy as your police officer, like, where you going? Where you come from? You know how fast you were going? Listen, sir, I understand, but I would prefer, maybe say something like this. I would prefer not to give you any evidence on your body cam today. So if we could just stick to the necessary questions, or here's my ID, do what you got to do, go search when you go search, run me my ticket. You don't need my signature for real. Throw it in the car, whatever. Let me go on by my day. But I would have, I don't know if that's okay to have that. Like I said, the dime I got stopped, I had my kid in the back. I was trying to get her to school on time. When I said run me that ticket and hurry up, I meant that. Just do what you got to do. We'll figure it out on the back end, but everybody doesn't have the opportunity,
yeah.
But again, we have the education on that. Everybody else doesn't. So if you need somebody, call us.
So I'll tell you. And someone just asked, you don't have to sign a ticket. No, if it's a ticket in most states, but especially in Texas, it's a Class C. A ticket is really just a notice.
Mhm.
To appear in
To
21
appear,
days.
yeah, it's a notice. You don't have to sign off on that notice, but you do. They will provide you that notice so you'll know to show up in court.
Mhm.
So you don't have to sign off on it. So when I get stopped, and say, where are you coming from? I usually say, vocally, I say, sir, I don't see the relevance of that. But in my mind, I'm saying, I just left your mama house and I'm trying to
Oh,
get
my
I'm
gosh.
trying to get her food back to her so it's hot. Because your mama like hot chicken McNuggets.
That
And
shit
so
big back.
yeah. So, but that's gonna get me toe up right there.
Toe up from the toe up.
That's gonna get 12, whatever 12 times. That's gonna get 120 on me right
You
there.
gonna get
'Cause
12 years
it's gonna be 10 officers out there. It's gonna be 10 112s out there.
I had to get you off.
Nah. So I can't say necessarily what I'm thinking, which is I'm leaving your mama house. You want to give me an escort back so I can get these nuggets there?
Hey, listen, like too much. But he's right. Just to answer your question, people have been killed because they kept pregnant wives in the car. That was one of his cases too, I think.
Yep.
Johnny Harkins' cases. It was a pregnant lady. The husband was driving. He got killed by the police because he didn't stop. Right? He was like, she was pregnant. That was his last word. So I mean, girl, listen, if you want to play the police, but sometimes it's gonna be on the other side of heaven. You know what I mean, or other side of jail cell. So just be careful.
Mhm.
Yeah.
It's true.
Do not be like the people who you may be upset at or believe that you're upset at. Do not have preconceived notions.
Mm.
Let every individual show you who they are. So I told you I got stopped by one officer and I was polite and he was like, man, and this is probably in the worst. Matter of fact, it's in probably the third most ticketed speed trap in the state of
You
Texas
talking about 30?
on 45.
Oh,
Yeah,
Forest County takes one from
He gave me a warning. But here in Dallas County, it was an officer who stopped me on my 25th wedding anniversary. And if Jesus did not step into that car and tap me on my shoulder, oh man, I was calculating.
Sometimes we got time.
Yeah, because I was like, his tone was bad. And I'm like, and then quite honestly, I was on the express lane doing 70. He's saying it was 60, and guess what the speed limit is now?
70.
75.
I got pulled over twice on the way to Padre one time, but the road college, the road in, he was coming inbound to town. I was going out, so the speed limit were going. His was descending and mine was increasing.
Mhm.
So he's told me from the other side I was speeding. I didn't take. He was like, "Well, do you want to go back and look? You can get my police car." Now, why would I say
Oh.
agree to that? Why would I agree to that? But I was
Taking
right.
it
He
too
was
far.
wrong. I got my ticket. I went ahead and did the little class you're supposed to do because I
Mhm.
wasn't going to go back that way to fight the ticket. But it sucks. Sometimes it's just usually it's gonna be is what it is.
That sucks. So, what are you legally required to say to the police?
Nothing.
Just nothing at all.
No.
I take the fifth.
Yeah, and Miranda, and that's before Miranda. You don't have to talk to him before Miranda or after.
And that's not a drink, y'all. That's not a drink. A fifth is not a drink.
Okay, wait, real quick. If you don't have insurance, can you go to jail for that?
Yes.
Yes. Okay.
You for
Okay. So first of all,
I mean, I
we-
know it's legally required, but
okay,
that's like
we're gonna go ahead and delete this portion right here because
Man, this is a good one.
No,
Kids need to know.
no. But she's like, for real? Yes, ma.
Well,
Yeah.
she answering like a
So
millennial.
watch this.
I just,
baby.
So not having insurance
Mhm.
is, and man, look, let me just say this. I get hard times. I do. I get hard times. But at the same time, your hard time can be transferred.
Preach.
You don't have insurance. You're in a tote to note automobile. You run into me, you hurt my child, you damage my car, and now I have to come out of pocket for my child's health care or for my health care because we got to pay deductibles and all of these things that are triggered by that. I'm late for work, I miss an appointment, all of these things, when if you would have had insurance, I at least would have had the money to pay the deductible and I wouldn't have had to have the financial burden. You have now transferred your financial burden over to me.
Mm.
And to me, that's not right.
Well, when you put it like that,
I mean, that is true though. Like literally, we do personal injury law. So you do find a lot of cases out here. There are people that do not have insurance, and I get it. I paid $335, and I only got one car. Okay.
That's it. Oh, go ahead.
Well, you have several cars. You know,
well, I
several
thought
cars, several
insurance was
homes,
only like
several people.
$80.
That is liability insurance, which I am happy if anyone cares.
Please have the basics.
Yes, and that ensures that if you hit someone, you will take care of them, but you won't be taken care of. And let me just put this out there. Someone hit me a couple of years ago. Took off, didn't have insurance. If you don't have insurance, what they say, F around and find out.
Oh,
AFO?
I got their license plate.
I know that's word.
I sued them. They didn't show up. I got that default judgment.
You did the lien.
I will send the sheriff to your house 2 days after Christmas.
Oh,
I'm coming for PlayStations, video games, the whole nine.
Run it. And if you ever win the lottery, I'm talking about it, I want it all.
Yeah,
Because you owe me my money.
you can do that.
Yes.
yeah.
Oh, I need to start suing people.
Easy,
we do it all
easy.
the
Do
time.
do the rest.
We do it all the time.
easy.
How do you think white people come up with life?
Yeah, don't. But my thing was I was pissed because if he would have,
To no fault of his own.
yeah, if he would have talked to me and explained the situation, like I might have said, okay, man, look, let me just get your information. Let's run this thing. You don't have insurance. My insurance will cover
Right,
it.
but we got to get the denial real quick,
Right.
and then we'll move forward.
Right. Let's go through the process. It'll be easy, right? But you took off.
Took off.
Now I'm pissed. Because that's kind of like hit me and running.
Mm-hmm.
Nah, I'm going to find your address. And I'm coming in the house.
Yeah.
You know what I'm
He's
saying?
talking about through the front door.
Nah,
Through
you
the front door.
I ain't and I'm
With your
not,
papers.
and like Bernie Mac said, I ain't telling you words. I'm telling you what I did. I'm telling you what I did. But anyway, let's stop before statute of limitations. I don't think can run on some of these things. So
You
let me
know,
stop talking.
but you have insurance. And if you don't have insurance, that's why Uber and Lyft are invented, right? With people that do share costs with them. Because remember, people bum rides from people. People got to pay for car, the car payment, the tires, the wear and tear, the insurance, all the things. So give people some money if you're going to ask them for a ride, okay? I don't care if they're your family member or whatever. But if you don't have insurance, ride with somebody who does, come up with some arrangements.
Sharing is caring.
Sharing is caring.
What else we got?
If you're ever confronted by ICE, because they're everywhere.
No matter
So-
your color,
If,
no matter your race
if you're ever confronted, what do you do?
or your nationality. would you take this one?
Live in the Bronx in New York.
They coming outside for you, baby.
Yeah.
If they see the ice haters roll up, baby, I promise you, ice. Help the bear.
Yeah,
Help the bear. Help the bear.
yeah. Now, if look, this whole thing with ICE, is serious, right?
Very
so I've done a
serious.
couple of conferences, and we've spoken about this exact matter, and I work with a couple of lawyers who work on helping people with their immigration status and protecting.
Shout out to all immigration attorneys right
Yeah.
now. Y'all are really doing.
Yeah, you guys are working overtime. So, but if you see ICE,
Mhm.
and it's two scenarios, right? The first scenario, I'm just going to say in one sentence: protect yourself. If you're undocumented and you know that there may be valid reasons for them to come and get you or deport you, protect yourself. If you're a U.S. citizen and you know you have a valid right to be here, protect yourself. And at the same time, like we said with being stopped by the police, here's my driver's license, run it. But everyone, pull out your cameras, go Facebook Live, send it to your family, do everything that you can to make sure you document that contact. Because if it goes bad, you're going to need that to protect yourself. Because if not, if there's no video, you're the baddest hombre ever. You 110 pounds, you had 20 guns, you
Oh,
were high on
man.
cocaine.
And
you
they
threw-
don't care about
yeah.
video either.
Yeah.
By the way,
Yeah, well,
they look.
I saw.
I'm just saying.
Yeah.
We look at the video, we're like, nah, that didn't happen in 4K, my guy.
Yeah.
But
4K. We
But
saw
you're
it.
right. They do need to because that's with video. So just imagine what they would do without video.
without video,
Uh.
you're at a loss. Because one of the things that I don't like is governmental immunity.
Oh my god.
It is too widely blanketed. It is not a law.
And it's easy to trigger.
Right. And it's devastating. And so you don't need them to be able to utilize that to assist them, because that's the first thing that they're going to say, especially if there's no video evidence to show that they violated your constitutional rights. Y'all remember the Constitution?
I was
It is
just
no
gonna ask
longer-
that.
It
It's
is
here.
no
It's-
longer-
it is here. It is
They're trying to bring it back. They're
it-
trying to
it-
revive
it-
it.
it
It's
is-
on its last leg.
Yeah, it's like the record player.
It's like in a glass protected case, but it's a fire all around it. Just want to let you know. They can barely see it, but it's there.
Break in case of emergency.
So if ICE is patrolling your neighborhood and they just so happen to come up to your door, do you have to open the door? Do you have to have contact with them? Like, how does that go?
Well, did y'all see that reporter that just got arrested by the FBI? But you do eventually have to open the door if you don't want them to break it down if they have a valid warrant. And you do. How do you figure out if it's a valid warrant? And I mean, you might not be able to, but honestly, if they want me, they're gonna have to come find me. They're gonna have to get it out the mud. They're gonna have to not break that door. That's what they got to do. Because I need, you know what I mean. They're gonna have to just come get me.
I mean, that is a very delicate situation, because it depends on who you have in the house,
Right.
Exactly.
She had her
right?
children
And
in the
so
house.
if you have other people in the house that could be injured or could be harmed, and they have a warrant, talk to them through the door if that's something that you feel comfortable at doing, right? Who are you looking for? Name, age. Okay, it might be a situation in which if there are several family members in that home who may be similarly situated, that person may want to go ahead
Outside.
and step outside and then immediately close the door right and lock it right behind them.
Mhm.
Because if that warrant literally says for this person,
That's all they can do.
that's all they can do. They can't come in and start asking other people who they are and why. They can't do that. And so, not saying that they won't,
Because they
but
violate rights all the time. That's the
All
whole
the
point.
time.
That's the
Right.
whole point.
All the time.
right. So, that's why I drink my drinks room temperature. Never like ice. Never like ice, baby.
I don't deal with nothing
Never like-
cold.
Yeah.
So
I just during this time of the life though, like just because I obviously we're talking about ICE, right? So I know I'm a citizen. You know, we all know, right? We was brought here against our will,
Mhm.
and I think that Americans, this is the one time we can be a little rowdy, especially when you know who you are and they trying to play with you. But again, it can still go bad. Just how we were saying with the police, it can still go bad. I think if you live in a blue state in a blue city, call the police if they're also there, because a lot of them are going to start doing state charges against them. Even though, like you said, it can't trigger government immunity, but a lot of them are starting to help people fight back. I think it was in Philly. They said they were going to do that, and in Minnesota. So do what you can. But I think I'm a revolutionary. But we all fight different ways. I have a child now, so I can't be out in the streets, but we can do. Like, everybody has their role that they can do, whether it's on social media or the lawyers doing their thing now, the immigration attorneys. I mean, we can all spread the knowledge, but you do not have to open any door. Just like you don't have to talk to police, you don't have to do that either for them. But they don't follow laws. Those are thugs out here. These people that probably don't have a high education. And top of that, so what they gonna do is what they gonna do. So even if you being nice, even if you are being kind, even if you are doing all the things they say, they still clearly roughing up people on the street. So it's just scary times. So you just have to do what maybe you feel the energy and feel the air and maybe move according to that.
Yeah, and the sad thing about it is most of those individuals, I suspect, are not properly trained. When you have a casting call for any and all people to come out
Not a reality show.
and join,
That's what it is.
that's what he do. It's a
what it
reality
is.
show.
Yeah.
And so when you have a casting call and all potential players come out and become stormtroopers,
And you get hired on the spot.
yeah,
On the spot.
yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. So there have been allegations and stories about people who went to training centers and were deployed less than a week later without any formal training.
So they
and
just give
went
them
to-
a gun and
Well,
send them off.
they hired. Did you say that one girl? She said she applied. They asked her a few questions. They never asked for a resume. She did all because she was just playing with them. She did all the stuff, and they were like, they said they would call her back if she got hired. She never got a call back, but they started emailing her talking about some sign in here. Here's your credentials and stuff like that. Yes, it's not a big hard process to get in. And the ICE agent that was walking with they were going to go do something. He had his gun. He didn't have the safety on. Had his finger on the trigger and shot himself. He tripped and fell, shot himself. These are people that are untrained. These are real videos I'm telling you about. This is
Was
not
his first
AI.
name Plaxico? Did he play for the Giants?
No. Oh, I don't know.
I'm messing with you.
Like all day.
What do we got next? What do we got next? What do we got next?
Okay, wait. What documents can ICE legally ask you for?
It's crazy they ask me for birth certificate because who walks around with that?
Exactly.
You know what's crazy about that? I don't think anyone has really challenged the authority that they have in order to do that, because I don't know what arm of the government that they are part of to
Dear.
ask you that. Because a soldier can't just necessarily walk up to you and ask you what show you their ID.
Is our military people part of DHS? Department of
That's a
Homeland
good question.
Security?
I mean, and then they could be part of
Because
DHS.
ICE is part of DHS.
Right. But at the same time, does that give them the authority to ask you for ID?
I feel like it would because TSA is part of DHS and they ask you for your ID.
There you go. There you go. So, I mean, legally, people can only really ask you for what you might actually.
Identification.
Yeah.
It's really trying to identify who you are. I feel like that could be a school ID sometimes. Like everybody,
Yeah.
kids don't have the proper identification, but they're stopping anybody.
Because
They
the,
are.
because the thing is, your driver's license. In order to get your driver's license, what do you have to provide?
Ooh, a arm and a
Your
leg,
birth
a birth, a
certificate,
blood
social
type.
security.
Right. So if a birth certificate is needed, and you have a driver's license, then that driver's license,
It's a good form.
yeah,
And
and
your
it'll be on that system.
electricity bill. You got to prove that you live here and all the things.
Do they have a system if they're untrained? Do they?
That's
do
a good question.
They probably have a system. Do they know how to use it? Right? Do they know how to operate it?
Or do they care?
Do they care?
And it's given they
which
do
is
not.
which is a hell no.
Right.
Which is a hell no.
If detained and you know you're a citizen, what should you do?
Woo.
I'm still on active food because but again, how you're going to be treated after that is
Exactly.
what's going to happen to you. I think you should act fool because I know you in line. I know you're worse me, but at the same time, I ain't trying to be the time for real. I really
Yeah.
am. I'm scared of jail for real, y'all. I
Me
didn't want to do the
too.
jail tour. I don't like confinement, but I don't know. I don't know what you do.
I'm the waiting later.
Mm.
I'm the waiting later. So I'm
Yeah.
going.
You gonna handle on the back end.
Yeah, I'm gonna handle on the back end. And I tell my clients that, man, just chill, because we're gonna slap somebody. We're gonna slap somebody. Just hold off.
We're gonna get some macro.
Yeah, we are, because the thing is, when they got their claws on you,
It's not the right time.
it is nothing you can do, even if you're in the right. Give you a crazy scenario. The whole Second Amendment is about
bearing arms,
right against the tyranny of the government,
foreign or domestic.
Foreign or domestic.
but yet and still,
Ain't nobody militia and nothing.
watch this, resisting arrest is legal even if it's an illegal arrest.
Because you had to prove that. I'm sorry, you had to prove that on the back end.
Oh.
Right, like we're saying it's a legal arrest, but how do at the
How do we
time?
know?
At the time they're arresting you. You find
Right.
that that's adjudicated at the back end.
If they came in and said, we're arresting you, Larry, because you're behind a microphone, and they arrest me, and I'm like, man, you can't do that, and I'm fighting them and all this other stuff. Well, I'm still going to jail, but the difference is now they could not charge me for being behind a microphone, but now they can charge me for resisting arrest.
Mm-hmm. And again, that's going to have to be handled by the judges and the prosecutors later down the line.
And that's where they get us. That's where they get us. Interfering with police duties, resisting arrest. Yeah, people are upset because you're infringing on their constitutional right. And it's so jackass backwards.
It's just so crazy how you keep hitting these Johnny Cochran concepts.
Resisting without violence.
Resisting without violence.
Because we going
But
They count that too,
but
though.
watch this. Watch this. Resisting. So the question was just asked: resisting without violence. Resistance is resistance, violent or non-violent. I had a client who was handcuffed, tased in the balls, jumped up. I mean, kicked his feet because he was getting shocked. Kicked the officer who was trying to hold his legs, and they charged him with assault on a peace officer. And it took me, it took forever to explain to a prosecutor, sir, you do know that it has to be a voluntary action. And unlike some of these other defense attorneys, I will bring in the nation's top expert, a neurologist, to show that if you get so many volts to your body, that action becomes involuntary. Therefore, you cannot meet the elements of this crime. F around and find out.
Remember, prosecutors be drinking that.
Yeah.
They drink the Kool-Aid, so they start believing everything they see. and
Not all
hear.
prosecutors. I was a prosecutor.
And look what side you on now.
I was a prosecutor.
Because you saw what they was doing up in there.
Now, so this is my PSA with that. If you are someone who is a good lawyer and you believe in the Constitution and good morals, and you become a prosecutor, do the right thing. I treated everyone the same. I didn't care if you came from a rich neighborhood. I didn't care about your color. And on something as silly as possession of a marijuana as a teenager or a young person, man, I'm not trying to give you no conviction on that. Go do a drug class. Let me talk to you. Look, bruh, sis, homie, Jonathan, do not travel around with weed. If you're going to do something like that, do it in your house. Do it privately, but don't do it publicly, because once you do that, you avail yourself to law enforcement and you have to come see me.
Mm-hmm.
So here's some things that you can do. I'm going to dismiss the case if you do these things, because I got to show that I did something.
He's one of the good ones, you guys.
Yeah,
He's
you
probably
can-
like 10%.
You can be a good prosecutor. You don't have to drink the water and believe everything law enforcement says. And watch this. That's regardless of color, because my partner in crime, who was a white guy, and I'm not going to say his name, we saw a video of a black man who was handcuffed, who was stopped for a DWI, who was clotheslined by a white officer. We were watching the video before trial. He saw that black man get clotheslined. He didn't even say anything to me. He slapped the desk, got up, went upstairs, talked to our supervisors, brought the officers into there, cussed the officers out, and said, I'm signing this dismissal in your face. And after I leave here, I'm filing a complaint.
Period.
And so you can be a good prosecutor. Stop believing this you see on TV. Yeah, stop believing the stuff you see on TV that I got to be mean. I got to win at all costs. No, bro.
Like,
No, just do the right thing.
We are here for the people, and I think they often forget who they work for and why they work for them.
Exactly. All right.
But off this soapbox.
On a brighter note, I mean, it's not so bright. Cancel culture versus consequence. What do you all think about that?
My favorite person to talk about when I think about cancel culture and consequence is Kanye. I love me some Kanye. Okay, I
Love him
love him
down.
down bad. I love him down bad. I'm down to the ground. But he has done so.
Huh?
It's a new reference out right now. You understand? Cardi B.
Nicki Minaj.
Cancel.
Now-
Super cancel. Can't come back. All consequences back, boy.
Oh.
We don't like her. We don't want to talk to her. I don't want to hear her music. I don't want to hear her remix. I don't want to hear nothing. That girl there played too much. Okay, you over here hanging out with Donald Trump trying to get a little visa for your little pedophile husband, and for you to stay in this country, little Trinidad girl.
Ooh.
But that-
That's a
Is-
hard one.
That's almost like a form of slavery, isn't it? Like if I can deport you unless you do what I say.
But no one nobody even worried about her though. There are more celebrities here that are probably white or Caucasian in appearance that are also immigrants. Do you know how many immigrants that we have here? What? Batman himself, Christian Bale, I don't think he's American. I don't know how long he's been here, but you know what I'm saying? She was not on the top of the party
She
list to
wasn't.
make an example of, okay?
She wasn't.
It's Rihanna is from Barbados. And wasn't nobody worried about her. They ain't not worried about them.
And she'll openly tell you, I'm not a citizen. She tells you.
So have y'all heard anybody coming after her? No.
No.
Nicki Minaj put herself in this position because she on them drugs. It ain't got to be proven. It ain't got to be proven. We already know.
See,
Okay, anyway. So
So-
I'm actually hot now.
Yeah. So
Sweating.
so as Morgan takes a break, and we step away from the allegedly of drugs, that brings up a very interesting question about Black folks.
Mm.
There are several celebrities and individuals that have signed on to things that they have recently or previously spoken against because of either themselves or loved ones. And man, that's a hard one. That's a hard one. I'm gonna be very transparent and very neutral on this one because there was an artist who was facing federal crimes, and they kissed the ring and got pardoned.
Mm.
And if someone is looking at serving 20 years in federal prison, and all I have to do not to go to jail is to take a picture with somebody I don't like,
Take it couple. Did you get my good side? Because yeah, you're right. I'm gonna take that picture. I'm gonna do what I gotta do.
yeah,
I
and so
understand.
that
Take it again.
that is a very hard thing to do. But one of the things that we have to be wise enough to know is, man, they just using them.
Absolutely.
And be like, yeah, he took a picture. He don't mean that. He getting something out of it. Keep it moving.
But that was a reason. That was an understandable reason. That's something that's understandable. People such as the girl we just talked about, Onika, she's doing this for no reason. Like you said, she's just being used. She's a puppet. I don't know. Matter of fact, I keep saying no reason. We don't know what's psychologically going on in her head, and she might really represent for the people. You know, really be them. You know what I'm saying? We don't know. But it is crazy the campaign she's going on. She has talked at the UN. She went to the little event. I mean, she's like doing the most.
Let me speculate here on someone whose career has taken a far back seat to the point where she is trying to start fights and attacking other female artists.
Look, Kim Ben told y'all though, so it's not
This-
She told us 9 years ago.
This is probably something to stay relevant, right? Because relevancy is
It's
not
addictive.
it's not as high as it once was. That's the first thing. Secondly, they have always kind of demonstrated that the smallest thing can set them off. And so the fact that they receive backlash, they seem like they have the personality to say, you know what? I really wasn't into this, but now that you're going to come at me, I'm going all in.
Mm.
And, you know, at this point, man, you pray for people because you don't know what they're going through. But at the same time,
At the same time, it's a line though. There is a line.
but watch this. She is not the Pied Piper. She is not going to take millions with her on this journey. And so if she decides to go into the sunken place,
A couple of the barbers are going with her, but they're starting to wake up now. I will say that
Yeah.
I can tell in the comment sections of like the Shade Room and Baller Alert, they're kind of like, yeah, that was a little step too far. So
Yeah.
I definitely understand that. I mean, and what she's doing is, I will say right now, well, I can't say it's not hurting people because her rhetoric, like when she goes and talk in front of the non-black people, right, the non-melanated folks in America, the words that she's using, they still feed off that. Because you remember, their algorithm is not showing progressive and good black people. So if she's denouncing different types of people or talking bad or saying these different things, sometimes their only reference is that one black person that is coming into their spaces. So it's not that, oh, it's not affecting, it might not be affecting us directly, but you know, you go on and talk about the Trump should be bombing Nigerians because of Christianity, like, girl, what? What?
It
And now
doesn't
they're
make sense.
believing you because you're now their black poster child for what they're saying is right and wrong.
but at the same time, they're only speaking to,
The
she's
people.
only speaking to what they already believe.
Yeah, they weren't. She
Exactly.
wasn't going to change their mind. So you're right about that.
You basically,
These were on the
yeah,
people
you're only really fueling a fire that was already
on fire.
there.
Yeah.
And so, golly, man, I lost my train. I had a good train of thought on this subject
Low
as
skin though.
well. That's what happens when you get old. You know, because when I think about what she is doing, and I think about the people who may or may not follow her, this is the point I was going to make. Black women,
Mm-hmm.
never before, fact check, never before have so many black women in executive positions in the workplace been let go.
Ooh, was it 300,000?
Been let go.
Over 300,000.
Yeah.
And so, how could you go on the VMAs and MTV and talk about black women and black female rappers and women power, but yet and still cower down to this rhetoric that is hurting other women who look like you, young black women, and encouraging them for failure? Because if you're feeding them to feed a machine that's going to end up hurting them, is that not wrong?
I mean, I feel where you're coming from, but I mean, a lot of people have been doing things that are counterintuitive to their life. That's literally how we are here at this whole getting Trump elected. A lot, not just black people, not just women, not just men, not just Latinos, that vote for Donald Trump, and now look at them getting deported on that same boat they told to vote on. You know what I mean? So a lot of people do go against their interest, and it's sad.
Can I give a PSA too on we're talking about politics and their parties, but more importantly, there are people and personalities, because there are some Republicans out there who believe in doing the right thing. Right? They might live in red states, but they believe in doing the right thing. They believe that health care should be provided to everyone, that rural areas should have health care, right? Because the things that are happening now, they're talking about all these freeloaders on health care. What they don't realize is that this affords the opportunity for hospitals and clinics to be in rural areas where the population is so low that it doesn't warrant these facilities or doctors to be there. And so there are people on that side of the aisle that are looking to do the right thing. And on the flip side, you got some Democrats
That are cosplaying as
that
Democrats.
are looking at doing things that don't necessarily affect the communities or good for the communities that they represent. And so look at the person, the purpose, and the personalities a lot of times more than the politics. So I know we'll say some names, but some of you fools are gonna get out there and say, they just far left and all this and all this and all. Man, your mama. Your mama. I'm
right.
yeah, I'm for doing what's right. This one man
For everyone.
This one man told me, he said, look, man, there are organizations, there are parties, there's all kinds of things. But I stand on my faith in doing what's right.
That's it.
Point blank.
I like
Integrity.
And fingers, whatever the fingers it is.
Clock it.
Yeah, there you go. Okay, that thing, that part. All right.
I do want to know, can cancel culture hurt you legally?
Depending on what you got canceled for.
Yeah.
R. Kelly got canceled for,
Oh.
and he's in where? It can affect you.
Hmm.
What you gonna say? You okay with that?
This social media and cancer culture is dangerous. Really dangerous.
How?
P. Diddy
In
is
which way?
Prison right now.
So
That's a good thing.
so Sean Combs is in jail.
Mm-hmm.
Not necessarily for rape, not necessarily for beating a woman, not for drugs, not for any of that.
It was the prostitution, right?
It was, but hold up.
Across state lines.
It's the Mann Act.
Right. You just can't
The Mann Act.
fly people in.
Right.
And a lot of people be flew out and the whole flued out. Y'all
Trying to
all
get
y'all
food
could be in
out for
prison,
the
actually.
weekend.
That's what I'm saying. That is the
I'll be in prison.
That is the real issue.
You can't fly yourself to.
No, you're not flying yourself.
So-
So you
Say
can't
somebody say,
get-
come, I'm gonna send you a ticket. I'm gonna send you a ticket. Now, think about it. A lot of people try to have these little comments, like people like dating, right? They're like, oh my God,
Yeah.
if I go out of town, I probably gotta. Yeah, sometimes that's the conversation. But
Yeah.
stuff, you sent somebody a ticket. Y'all went out of town, and that's what you expected because you sent them a ticket. You have now violated. You have triggered that act in your life. So if she calls anything rape, anything like that, or want to call the police, Mr. May can go to jail because technically he paid for that. Mm-hmm.
But that's what the provider. So the whole provider man thing is
Well,
kind of.
don't do nothing that can trigger a police call, 911.
Well, watch this. You don't even have to do that. And this is what's crazy, right? So this honestly should have shut down like the whole sugar baby, sugar daddy whole conversation. Like that whole thing, right? They just basically set that on fire. right? Because now it's like, yeah, you fly and you live in Georgia, but I'm gonna find someone local, right? I'm gonna find somebody
'Cause
here.
you can do interstate lines.
Now I'm gonna find somewhere in Texas.
But you cross that line. I'm
And
talking about Louisiana.
hold on, and what's even worse than that is like, yeah, I'm finna fly to Turk and Caicos, but I would invite you, but we ain't married. Yeah, I'm fly down there and find somebody down there today. Like you can't travel with your dude.
That's crazy.
But I mean, because it really is that simple. It's just 1 + 1 is 2. You sent the money for the flight, or you sent this, whatever financial arrangement might have happened, plus activity equals demand act. It's very simple.
Wow.
Yeah.
Booyah.
So that is what he did get convicted of. Now, is it one of those things where you're like, oh, hallelujah, he got convicted? Because we did see the video. We did see he was mean. Like, we got the documentary, shot 50 Cent.
That's
but
why I said
it sucks.
That's why I said cancel culture can have legal ramifications.
Mhm.
That if you do something that outrages people, then something not related to that you did can come back and affect you.
Because remember, all that didn't start until Cassie did all this, right? The whole,
Right.
the money, the case, the video.
Right.
And then they started, searching his homes and going to his homes and raiding his homes. And then they found all these other things.
Shout out to the lawyer or friends that advised Sean Combs not to pay initially.
Because that's the one.
Oh.
Because-
they triggered all of this.
Because them dumbasses is the reason why he is in prison.
I'll be trying to get my malpractice money out of that.
Because I had some friends, right? And they sent me the petition.
Mhm.
And they were like, Larry, tell us what you think about this petition.
It was long for
And,
no reason.
and I kid you not, first thing I said is I was like, he's going to jail. No, Larry, it's a civil suit. I said, the feds are always watching.
I'm be fresh as
And-
the feds.
Yeah, and I said, there are elements in here for federal crimes that are extremely problematic. And if I was Sean Combs' lawyer, I would have said, bruh,
Because I'm sure they sent them the draft. They said they
No.
drafted that. They sent it over. And they said, all right, what you want to do?
they sent it as a demand.
Yeah.
They sent it
They
to demand.
attached it.
They send it to him and his lawyer as a demand, saying, pay us, was it $32 million or something like that? Pay us the money,
Or
or we're going to file this in court. You know why I know that? Because that's what I do. I send a demand, I send a petition and saying, this is how I'm going to light your client up.
And then they said, this is a bluff. You're bluffing. And they said,
Okay.
bet.
And
And all you need is what, $300 some dollars? File that lawsuit, and she got $30 million out of it.
I read that thing and I said, man, look, bro, pay that.
But and he paid it with what, 10 seconds after. But it's like you should have just paid it right before.
Right.
You
Yeah.
should have just paid it because then all the other suits came out and all this other information. We were not worried about P. Diddy. I just want to be clear. At that particular time when all that came out, I don't think we were saying about P. Diddy was Young Miami. That was it.
Literally.
We were talking about him and Young Miami. We thought it was so cute, Revolt TV and all the things. We thought he was a good man,
Period.
Savannah.
Whatever you say.
$30 million later.
And
Who knows?
2 years in prison.
Right, looking like somebody's actual grandfather now. And who knows how his career is going to go once he gets out. You know what I mean? Or what's going to happen. I mean, I think it's still Diddy, and I think he reinvents himself all the time. But at the same time, I do think we see who you really are now.
Exactly.
And your son.
Well, okay. So I'm gonna say,
Hey.
boy, this show go, but it's hey, boy, it go off rails real quick. But look, one of the things I'm gonna say too is Sean needs to worry about new charges because the 50 Cent documentary,
Mhm.
From his own cameraman.
Oh.
yeah, that documentary in itself was problematic. When people, because I don't really watch TV, people were like, hey man, you need to watch this, and I watched it. And when I saw it, I got pulled in from a legal aspect because of all the things that I could see coming. Because you got to remember, he beat the prosecutors on what they wanted to get him on.
And they didn't even let the jury come back and find on those counts. They actually non-suited that portion during trial. I would let them rule on it. But
Look, they didn't get him for what they wanted to get him for.
the racketeering.
Now with all these new allegations, they got time because he is in prison. And now I guarantee. So, I did an interview with the Punisher.
Okay.
On a shout out to Real Life Street Stars. Did an interview with the Punisher. And he said it probably a week after the Cassie lawsuit came out. the feds knocked at his door.
That's just a knock I never want.
They came knocking at his door.
Because when the feds come knock on your door, you're automatically going to jail, right?
No,
But they have been watching you for quite some time. They don't just come up. They don't wake up in the morning and be like, you know what? Heck yeah, hell
Did
yeah.
their research.
Yeah, they've been following you. They've been looking at you. You know, they. It's not just off the cuff. You know what I'm saying? They didn't come from the hip.
Yeah, so he could be in some serious trouble behind it.
And I think even when you're saying even federal charges, I think when I watched the documentary, the guy who I felt so bad for at the end was the little producer that helped him do his last little thing.
He
And
has a lawsuit.
He has a contract case, even if they didn't have any written down or anything like that. Promissory estoppel. I don't know about other states. Again, I only represent Texas, but like promissory estoppel, all those types of things, labor laws that was broken. That's also a federal thing because he was working nonstop. Yeah, I mean, he has cases that are criminal. They can still come out from this and civil. So
Yeah, he has a lot to worry about, all because
he didn't want to pay that money up front.
someone. Because I'm
Advised
like,
him.
somebody. Because I was like, look, you don't want to pay. Can we get
A structured settlement.
Can we get it for 25, 34? Can we get it?
Can I give it to you over the course of time?
Yeah, 27.5. I mean, I would have at least negotiated, but to flat out tell him
No.
burn in hell, yeah.
And now this has cost him more money than he can ever imagine.
And his reputation.
It could cost him his life, because I guarantee you, law enforcement wants him. And so, and according to reports, there may be a part 2 to this, that 50 Cent document is more.
It should have been. I feel like
And if there is more, it's just problems,
watched
because
part 1.
you can't leave. You gotta watch. You ain't watch part 1.
I ain't watched
you
part
are
1.
such a Gen Zer.
Don't
Oh my
She
God.
said it,
don't
She's like, is it
don't
out?
don't watch. Don't watch.
Did it come out last week?
It's problematic for me. It's problematic as a father to a woman.
Oh yes,
So,
like
yeah, it's problematic, and as a dude, because man, that was some bull hollering at people, girls.
But I think, wait. I do think it is good for you to watch. I think it's good for anybody to watch. Girls, boys. It teaches boys how to treat women. Don't be in a room with nobody that said no. No means no. If you don't have consent because they drunk, drugged, then it ain't no consent. Okay. I don't care if it's your girlfriend or boyfriend. If they are drunk, just go ahead and because you can be real. It could be a problem. Okay. So I do think it's good for people to watch in the sense that there's no amount of promises to further your career, help you out, give you money that I'm pretty sure if you ask those women now, I don't know about O'Day, but you ask, she's so confused. If you ask some of them women, would they have, do it all over again? Would they be in rooms with him? I feel like they would say no from everything that they had to live through and the trauma that created. So if you do want to watch it, just know that, it has some scary parts, but I think sometimes knowing that there are scary things that can happen to you can help you avoid putting yourself in those positions.
I once made this statement, and it was a night with a woman, and it got intense, but I felt she was drunk, and my comments to her were, "Hey, look, I'm gonna go home. If you feel this strongly about what we're about to do tonight, I'll come pick you up. We'll go eat breakfast, and we can continue this tomorrow. But I need you to be here. I need you to be fully aware of this agreement that we're about to make to commit this act. Because if you're not, I'm not comfortable with it.
Right.
Right? I don't
You
care.
don't look like you look good in orange.
No, man, and they don't make them custom fitted.
See?
You can't get no custom fitted jumpsuit. I seen Puffy stuff. He got money. His stuff baggy. You know what I'm saying? I need to. But anyway, next, let's move on. We've been on Puffy for a minute.
Well,
Is
we
there-
a lot of topics.
Is there a legal difference or differentiation between discrimination and backlash?
Yes.
Legally, yes.
Yes. So discrimination is basically the onset of I don't like you because of some kind of bias.
Mm-hmm.
Backlash is I'm your supervisor, and you came in late and I reprimanded you, and then you went and told my boss that I was being mean. Now, you know what? I'm cutting your hours. I'm yelling at you. I'm doing all those things that make you uncomfortable in that backlash. It's the causation is different in that regard. And so one is based on bias. The other one is based off of an act that you did.
Mm-hmm. But just how we said how you could do something that cancel culture can lead to legal ramifications. Same thing in that, right? So Discrimination is a legal term, but what was the other word you used?
Backlash.
Backlash. So the backlash that you received to something could have been something because you were being, make you being discriminated against or whatever you did. So a lot of things can bleed, but one is a legal term. You need to meet these definitions, and the other one is not.
Hold on, let me put on my employment lawyer hat. Because I'm the managing partner.
Hello, big boss.
Yes, because I'm the managing partner, I delve in all areas of law because I have to make sure everyone's doing their job. But saying that, it's called retaliation.
Mhm.
If you are a whistleblower,
Mhm.
right, and your supervisor is stealing pens or doing something that's detrimental to the company, and you are within your rights to report that, and for some reason they're not terminated, or they are terminated, and someone who possibly had a friendship or kinship with that individual starts to retaliate against you,
With backlash, now the correct term
is retaliation. Then at that point, both of them you have legal ramifications from. And so if that's the case, make sure you call 866 LT for me and get your employment representation on. It's the hottest thing going right now. Everybody is doing the employment.
Charleston White.
Is there a statute of limitation for it?
He does workman comp and employment.
He sure do. I saw the little clip of that interview. He do. He taught us how to get some money.
He goes to work too soon.
Okay.
That ain't a bad idea.
All right. All
Hey,
right.
little miss, quit your job.
Oh.
No, ma'am.
All right. All right. All right.
Okay.
All right. She said CW. She said CW.
Y'all know I got ADHD, so everything aligns with
you
something.
do. Yeah,
Is
you
it,
do. Shout out to my little brother Lil Woody though. Shout out to Lil Woody, my
Hey.
little brother. That's my little homeboy. I talked to him last week.
It's about YSL.
Yeah.
I just talked to him last night. He had that wig on.
Yeah.
Girl.
He outsmarted the whole judicial system.
He
That's a
sure
smart
did.
man.
He's smart.
So you should see if you want to see Lil Woody and myself, go to our YouTube page and check out the full interview that we had at Thurgood Marshall School of Law in Houston, Texas, where we talked about I don't recall. All right.
Hey, that's the answer. That's second to I plead the fifth. All right.
I'll
I
recall.
don't recall.
I ain't mad at him. Recording at work. How do y'all feel about recording at work?
Recording what?
Yourself.
I hope he loves it because I'm always in my office just twirling around doing my thing in between working.
So there was a certain employee here that did the one leg book challenge,
Now what's that?
Oh, Big P.
and they posted it. And the first thing I did was pick up the phone and it's like, hey man, what are you doing? First of all, I can see the sun is up. So it's between 9 and 5 because it gets dark now at 5:10. And it's bright outside.
I mean,
Okay?
Content is content.
No.
Exposure is
Work
exposure.
is work. Work is work. And I don't care if you're saying it's your lunch break. And so this is one of the things you have to be careful about,
Mhm.
right? So Morgan, I use her as an example because she's right here, decides to come in this room.
Mhm.
And she decides to do something that's either dangerous or controversial. And someone can see that it happened here. Now we are associated with it. And because she did it here, we could also be considered as condoning that statement, that act. And now I got to deal with this.
And his insurance carriers.
See,
And
and
I opened him up to it.
then I got problems. I'm breaking all her heels off her shoes. I am, yeah. I don't believe in violence, but I will destroy a shoe.
All left shoes gone.
Destruction.
All
of
her
property.
shoes are now flats. So, it's just, you gotta be, man, think.
So, yeah.
When you're recording yourself in public, but you're getting other people in the video who necessarily might not want to be recorded, can they?
Public space. Yep.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
That's somebody know because
So-
people will be at the gym and people will be, you're recording.
Right.
That's a public space.
I think
That's a little different. Private property. That's
Open to them.
yeah. That's different. That's different. That's different.
because
So,
when do you need the consent forms when you're not, when you need to blur people's face out? When do you need that?
and actually, that's part of your gym contract that you won't do that.
Are you serious?
Yeah,
Most people don't read things, you know.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure. I'm pretty sure.
We're actually about to get to that.
I'm pretty sure it's part of it because you got to remember, and man, let's just be respectful, right? A lot of people who go to the gym aren't in the greatest shape.
Right.
And you have someone who is there because of health reasons and already uncomfortable because of their body image, and to be able to see themselves on a video or something like that can be harmful. If you're going to film yourself at a gym, make sure you kind of go into a separate room, isolate yourself from everyone else, and it's just you. If you're going to film everyone in the gym, man, that's a problem, right? And so you want to make sure that you're careful. And watch this. And some of you guys are going to be like, oh, Larry, you just filmed naked James the other day. James is my homeboy. James wasn't naked. James is James is the gym owner, and he's like a bodybuilder.
I
So
thought you I need an attorney.
no. So every once in a while he'll be in the gym working out, and he likes to work out with his shirt off. And so I told him I didn't pay money to see this.
Oh,
and
that's what the show you came for.
no, that's not the show I came for. I didn't come for that. And I told him the gym owner said no shirt, no shoes,
No
no
shirt.
lifting. And so it's kind of become a thing, but you know, he knew I was doing it, and so that the consent part of it made it all right.
Consent does matter in all aspects.
Yes, consent.
Word of the day, consent.
If somebody come ask you though, can you delete that? Do you have to delete it?
I would
And if you don't delete it, could you be sued?
if you post it.
Likeness issue.
Hmm.
So that's probably why people start blurring people's faces out instead. But I think recording people sometimes we don't know what people have going on in their lives. It could be a safety issue as well. Like, what if this person's on witness protection? You ain't even know. You just posting it, now it went viral. Now they get murdered.
I saw that movie the other day.
Can you go to jail for that?
What?
If a situation like that happened, you post somebody in witness
I
protection.
mean,
No.
you didn't know. You had to
No,
have
no,
intent
No,
or something like
yeah,
that.
you would have had to. Well, we're gonna get legal. You would have had to conspire to take their image to send it to someone, knowingly that they would be a hit would be put out on them, and chances are you would have to have received some kind of monetary or reasonable compensation in order to do that, to be wrapped up in the conspiracy, and therefore just taking a picture, no.
Okay, this is totally unrelated, but I just found out through TikTok that if 2 or 3 more people are conspiring against you, you can sue them. Because if 2 or 3 more people are like talking about you in a negative way,
Well, I
that's
think you're
conspiracy.
it depends. So remember again, when we say TikTok, it depends on the facts. Okay,
Oh.
state all that. So you just saying if me and we here talking, we don't like this man up here recording us, and we just talking mad cash shit. We cannot sue us for that.
Well, I thought he had to be out the room.
If he was in the room or out the room, we not getting sued. You're not getting sued for that. Now you're talking about defamation and libel, and one of those things are for a politician or a public figure. I can't remember which one it is because I don't practice the type of law all the time, but I'm sure he does. But no, it has to be detrimental to their life.
Oh.
Okay, you can't just be like, oh, I don't like the way they wear their hair. They look stupid. They look ugly. It's not enough. You just stop them from getting employment. Stop them from causing them mental anguish, mental stress, stuff like that, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, now I'm sad. I thought I was going to get some money.
Girl, no, you just gonna fight. You just gonna beat them up, girl. No, I'm just playing. I'm just
Everybody
kidding.
loves you. Everybody loves you.
So side hustles and contracts that Gen Z don't read. I can't speak for all Gen Z, but I can speak for me.
Mhm.
I don't read contracts. I'll just sign. If you tell me to sign something, if I want to sign up for a subscription, I'm gonna just sign it.
That was
Like,
become illegal anyway.
Morgan, draft a contract that if she ever becomes rich,
360 deal.
we
360?
get we get everything.
Yeah, death row
All
contract.
right,
for sure.
yeah. Go ahead.
And me too.
Okay,
All right,
no problem. Because she gonna sign
She
anyway.
gonna
No
sign,
way.
she
I'm not finna play with y'all.
We on your likeness. We on your bank accounts. We
Yeah,
on everything.
all that. Your children, all
Okay.
that. Your child go to the NBA, like nah,
Right.
run that check, buddy.
Dang.
Run
They
that
gonna
check.
get the whole bloodline.
Yeah.
Okay.
No. But seriously, ladies and gentlemen, don't do that. And if you're uncomfortable with reading, find you a lawyer that will read it and give you some kind of advice. If you have someone who's a licensed attorney, even if it's a new attorney, they have more legal knowledge than you do. And there may be a nominal fee attached to it, but it can save you so much in the long run.
Mm-hmm. Now, are contracts meant to be? The contract is the transactional part of law, and then we have litigators, right? So we have people that if you do sign a contract and play yourself, or maybe it's not written right. I mean, there's ways to get out of things, but again, that's going to cost you time and money and effort and stress on the back end, and then you have to find another attorney who's going to argue that this contract was not whatever we're going to argue about, right? So, I mean, there's ways to get out of things, obviously, but sometimes it's not. You might have signed a perfectly written contract and you
Yeah.
stuck with it.
And so, another PSA: people who read contracts, people who what we call move paper, right? Those are transactional attorneys. So if you're looking for an attorney to do that, one of the key search terms that you may want to use is transactional attorney.
Mhm.
They deal with transactions, purchases, buying, trading, selling, those type of things. Then there's litigators. Those are the gladiators of the legal profession. We step up and battle. I've actually have done both because we have a transactional department, and so we do transactional work. So I kind of put my feet in both worlds as far as being able to review and understand that transactional aspect of it. But at the same time, it ain't nothing like a good brawl.
You know,
Right.
I like a good fight, as
Yeah.
you can hear throughout this rhetoric. But for me, I like the other side. I like the litigation side of it, simply because sometimes, no offense to the transactional lawyers that may be listening, some, you know how like some people, they don't do it, they write it, they do all this work, but they don't see how it's actually executed and see where the problems might lie because they don't actually, you know, they're writing, if everything is going accordingly, this is perfect.
Mhm.
But you know, things change and terms change, and they might not see how these is applicable in real life. Which is why most people have contract disputes, which is where the litigators come in. And so we kind of be like, "Ooh, don't write a contract like that because you're missing something." But they don't always see what happened with the contract they wrote, right? So just be careful. Sometimes, like I think it's great to come here so you know you have somebody that's done both sides, so they're really good at writing contracts.
So, what are some of the main things that hide in contracts that all people should know about?
I think if you're in a business context, I think a lot of people don't put in the what about profit loss? Like everybody wants to talk about how they're gonna make money.
Mhm.
They never talk about when we lose money, who's gonna pay for it, or how it's gonna be divvied up. And I think that's one of the bigger ones.
No, I'll tell you one that's bigger.
Uh.
The dissolution of a company,
Yes, the breakup. Nobody talks about the breakup either.
right? It's kind of like a marriage. Everybody talks about how we're going to fall in love, buy a house, get married, have
Get
kids,
rich.
or adopt kids or whatever you want to do. But no one talks about, look, I make $100,000 a year.
Mhm.
I married you and you was working at Fiesta as a bagger. And
I love you anyway. No problems with
right,
baggers. Thank you
right.
so much for y'all.
right, if we break up, you are not coming up.
Mm.
And so people don't really talk about that. And the same thing with businesses and same thing with partnerships. You know, people really don't say, okay, look, we're partners. You put in X amount of dollars or you didn't put in anything. If we dissolve this company, I get my funds back first,
First.
right?
And then we can split.
And then we can split the rest.
And that's if I want to split
Oh.
it 50-50 because I might think I did more of the work. Or because I put in all this money up front, I might want 60-40, 70-30. But they don't talk about those things. And that's how you wind up in court paying legal fees. And now nobody getting the money because who's getting the lawyer? The lawyer's getting the money. The granny's the baby.
I mean, that's good for y'all. So-
But that's true though. So people don't talk about profit loss and they don't talk about the breakup
Mhm.
or how you maybe turn into a different business and different things.
So real quick about profit loss, I thought if you lose money, I didn't really know you had to pay that back. I
Well,
thought you just.
It just depends.
Mhm.
It just depends. So, for example, let's say you sell sweaters.
Mhm.
Let's say you sell ugly sweaters, and people found them to be too ugly that they didn't want to purchase them. And so you're paying for a store, you're paying for staff. So you're paying for that, but you're not making any money. So you have loss. But you also have that inventory sitting there that you haven't sold.
Yeah.
And so that too in itself, while it's an asset, it could be considered a depreciated asset because it may have missed its time to sell.
Now it's got to go next
yeah.
Christmas, right? So now
Exactly.
we're keeping these ugly Christmas sweaters from December to December again. But how are we going to split up that loss? So, like, you know what? Or I pay for them up front. Since you didn't pay for them up front, I want you to take more of the loss, 60% of the loss, and I'm only pay 40%. You know, it's different ways. It gets really deep into business, but these things that you should have in contracts.
Hmm.
Yeah. So,
Bada boom, bada bing.
Men boundaries and the workplace. Can a man be disciplined for tone? Can a man be disciplined for tone?
Whew. That's a good one. That's a good one.
I'm not the employer anymore. What would you do? Actually, I know what he would do. You know what he told me when I first started working here? He said, if you ever done somebody bad,
bleep. We're going to bleep. Bad. No, we're not bleep. Bad. No, we're not talking about that. We should not use my words against me on this program. But just to let you know, man, tone is important, right? And it's how far you go. Do I have a right to use a strong tone with you to reprimand you? Yeah. I can't say, oh my God, I am so upset that you stole from me. Right? or I'm so upset that you're eating breakfast and it's 3 hours, you're 3 hours late. I'm like,
This is sounding personal.
like that's not the tone. That's not the tone. Because that tone doesn't let you know
I'm
that you know,
serious.
yeah, how serious this is.
The gravity.
But if I say, hey man, put your fork down, get up, and come to my office. If you tell me no, keep your fork, stay right there, and I will find someone to escort you out this building. My tone is not friendly. Now, am I cussing at you? No. Have I seen that? Yes. I had a buddy of mine who went completely off on an employee.
Oh.
And so we were talking one day. He's like, Larry, when you were looking for a job, why didn't you come here? I would have hired you on the spot. I said, no, you wouldn't have. He said, why not? I said, because I've heard how you talk to your subordinates. I'm 6'1", 260. If you stand up at your desk and I stand up at my desk, the first thing you thinking about is, oh, did I just F? Oh, let me sit my back down, right? You're not going to hire me because you, when you get upset, use a tone and language that I wouldn't tolerate, and you would feel threatened because I would match your energy. And so tone is important. I don't think anyone should really be yelled at. If I got to get, it's like a relationship. If I got to be physical or yell at you, then I don't need to be with you.
I also think that, we're all human, so we all have little crash out moments. So, as long as it's not regular.
Not all of us.
Sorry, everybody is not the same. Larry Taylor here, but we all have our moments. We're not perfect. So, give everybody grace every once in a while. Grace can run out. And if they're talking to you like that regularly, this is who they are. This is the job you have. It might be a little hostile work environment. And it's okay to seek employment. Like, again, in Texas, this is an at-will state. Everybody can leave on their own accord. You are not a hostage here. And you can be fired just simply because they want to. And you can leave a job simply because you want to.
Thank God for that. Is aggressive legally defined?
No. Oh,
Yes.
aggravated.
I mean, aggressive. So you got to look at the variations of the word.
Mm-hmm.
Hostile work environment. That's a legal term. And so your aggressiveness can be matched up with a legal term that fits that situation, right? And so even when police officers or people in law enforcement look at your actions, they made aggressive movements. And so you have to be, I always say, and I love when they say this in movies, words mean something.
Mm-hmm. In my law school, we used to say all words have meaning. Every word, every single one. And where you put an is or an a, even those words seem like filler words, it matters. And or, neither nor, all these words matter.
And we talked about it. Remember when I told you, I was like, if a dude come up to you, and the first thing out of his mouth is, what you doing tonight? And not, what's your name?
That does matter.
Yeah.
That does matter.
Yeah, he ain't really into you.
Right.
He wants into you. Plain and simple.
I mean, it's kind of like when people walk up to you. Well, that is true. I just think it's funny when people walk up to you like, hey, how are you? What do you do for a living?
I always found that kind of like rude.
Would you like to pay my bills or something?
I always found that rude. Like, I don't know.
Do I look like I only work? I look like I work? I look like I go beg for money? No.
Oh, you wrong for that.
I
I y'all thought you was gonna do the whole.
Nah, I look poor. Do I look like I need a job? Oh my God, I don't look kept.
That's what I say. I don't work. I'm kept.
A vibe.
That's what I tell people, especially, in the grocery stores when they be asking you to sign up for stuff. I be like, I don't pay the bills. I don't work.
Yeah.
But you're telling the truth.
Well,
Hello?
I mean, I do pay wait, what do I pay? What do I pay? I don't think I pay anything.
You know what? I'm giving my girl a hard time. You know why? Because she is a full-time student.
Love
I
that.
am.
And so she does have a job. And her job is to bring home them good grades. Because if not, I'm going to talk about it.
Mm.
In front of everybody?
No, I'm just going to raise my voice. I'm not, you know what I don't do? I don't really do embarrassing.
Thank God.
I really don't. If I'm going to reprimand you, I'm going to pull you to the side, close the door, and I'm going to get with you. Now, if you piss me off and we ain't got feelings, let me say something. I grew up in an era where you had to be, the dozens was deadlier than bullets. It was people who rather be shot by me than to catch these words. Like, man, can you just shoot me?
I don't know if you know what the dozens.
I don't.
You don't know what the dozens is like your mama jokes. Like,
Oh, okay.
like your mama
Yeah.
or like, yeah, I am very good at getting with you.
Wow.
So much so, I'll tell you another story. It was a famous comedian. He hit me up. I was walking, you know how they do, you walking in the club, and he saw me and he told me I was dressed like a Mississippi pimp that was hired by Death Row because I had on all black and a chain. I saw this joker at the bar. Me and him went at it for about 30, 45 minutes, just going back and forth. He was like, man, are you a comedian? I said, nope. And but yeah, I'm good with these words. You come
These
from me,
words.
I got you. I'll cut your soul. I'll cut your soul.
And I mean, I feel like that's better for like legal purposes to keep you out of jail because you could talk about people and you can't go to jail, right?
True. Words they say that all the time about fights, right? When someone says something to you or use words against you, but you physically attack them, that's not justification for physical violence. But I evidently have said things to people that have lasted decades. I had someone from high school, and I've been out of high school almost 40, 30.
Dang. Oh, well, I
It's
mean, not
okay.
dang.
When did you graduate?
I graduated in 2020.
Yeah.
So I've been out for 6 years.
When did you graduate high school?
1990.
Oh, wow.
I wasn't even born yet.
Yeah, all righty. So I have literally said things that probably hurt your parents' feelings to this day. Dude walked up to me and was like, hey, man, what you said to me in second period, man, has always bothered me. I was like, damn, son, it's 23 years later. I said, I'm good. Oh, no, that's not what I said. 33 years later. Yeah, but yeah, I will cut your soul.
I've had an experience like that.
Yeah, I'll cut your soul.
It hurt my feelings. But so last topic, knowing your rights versus acting smart.
Mm.
If you're going to act smart, please film it because I love watching those on social media.
Those are good. Stop sign.
The stop sign is an imperial design in order to make you stop your forward progression. What you really don't want me to do is move forward in life. Man, please keep talking because this is.
You really don't want me to move
this is
forward in life.
entertaining.
I
Use
can't wait to
that.
show you when we get out of here. Have you seen the stop sign?
Nah,
Oh
man,
my God, I
that,
cannot wait.
that is a hot mess. But nah, man, I look.
Wait, also, let's be clear, y'all. People think they know their rights, but you don't even know when you're supposed to turn your blinker on. How far back? Do you know how many times you can get stopped for just anything, honestly, that you just don't even know that you violated the law? So you can know your rights all day and still go to jail. I've been telling y'all this whole time. There's just something that you figure out on the back end, okay?
I learned those because I used to prosecute DWIs, and I would watch the police officers use the traffic code in order to stop people, in order to investigate, right? And I tell you what, man. So one of the smartest things I've saw someone do is they saw the police officer, they immediately hit the emergency lights and pulled over. Officer pulled over. They left their windows up. They said, I don't need any help. Just having some car problems. I got insurance. I have somebody tow me.
Now he beat them to the punch.
Right? And so what was so genius about it, there's a thing called a welfare check in which officers can come and check on you to see if you're okay. But you have to really show that you're in distress. The fact that he showed that he immediately
I don't need
he
help.
wasn't in distress, there was nothing for the officer to continue to investigate and move forward. Because now,
You harassing me.
right, and so now we're having to explain, well, how did you smell alcohol with the window up? Right? Are you half canine? Because how are you smelling alcohol and the windows all the way up? They are articulating to you on your camera,
Are they slurring?
no, that they're okay. I'm okay. Car problems. Roll your window down. I'm good. Wait a minute, hold on. Why are you asking the person to roll down their windows? Clearly you can hear them. It was all kinds of things that this person was doing that was like, I was like, ooh, this
It's not
is good.
passing the muster.
So
right
he knew his rights.
He knew how to. If you know him, sometimes you're able to beat the system.
Yeah, that person had a couple of DWIs, so they had learned.
When does exercising your rights make things worse?
But anytime you got the wrong police officer.
Yes. Yes. Problematic. Problematic.
How do you protect yourself without escalation?
Comply.
Stay calm.
And
Stay
by the
calm.
way, people have died from complying, by the way, okay? Don't forget people walk back with their hands up just as saying they still got shot. So it depends on who you are dealing with on that day.
Yeah, you look, man. Look. Stay calm. Because they're recording. And one of the things that you're going to have a hard time doing, convincing any jury, that if I'm calm and I'm not reacting and I'm not resisting, and you furthering being belligerent and angry and authoritarian, then at that point, the spotlight switches back to you. It's like, what are you doing? They said, yes, sir, no, sir. They said they don't have it. They were complying with you. Why are you doing the thing? Because it was one that happened recently where a guy was complying, and the only thing that he wouldn't do was to roll down his window.
Oh, and they broke it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so that case, if I'm not mistaken, ended up getting dismissed because he did everything that he needed to do.
I mean, because he put his ID up to the window. That was
I think he actually slid it through the
something
top.
like that. Yeah. But he did do everything else.
Yeah, he slid it through the top. He just did not roll
Stop.
up their windows for them to put their hands inside his vehicle.
And I think he was starting to unlock the door. Oh no, he said bring your supervisor. He just
Yeah.
didn't feel comfortable. He said bring your sergeant because that's what it was. He said bring your sergeant. They were like, nah, we're gonna handle it right here. And that's why they broke his window and pulled him out. Mm-hmm.
That
Oh.
happened. That actually happened to me when I was a kid, but we'll talk about that another time.
But so compliance, it's everything is subjective. You might still be brought up on criminal charges, but you might set yourself up for a very nice civil lawsuit. So
Not in this day and time.
government immunity, but
Governmental immunity, and unless you have severe injuries or death, they've made these cases extremely difficult. The courts have really leaned on the side of governmental immunity and given more leeway than they should. And so in some cases, depending on where you are, it's even difficult to get your case before a jury because judges have taken on this mantra of protecting wrongdoers. And so we still do the fight.
you still got to do the dance.
Yeah.
And,
So-
Breonna Taylor, George Floyd.
Well, not even that. I mean, we represented, I say, for example, to be honest with you, probably 1 out of 4 of our cases, and I'm just being honest, we're able to get across the finish line because the injuries are such that even a judge couldn't deny it. In some of those cases that were close, we had problems. And I'll give you a perfect example. This sorry-ass doctor in Houston, which I'm about to blaze in a second, we sued him because he assaulted my client in a hospital, believing that he was saving a woman from him, which was his wife, who was hysterical, and he was calming her down. And the doctors, the nurses, and the hospital police were trying to get him off of her, get the doctor off of him. And the judge basically ruled the doctor had governmental immunity because the doctor was a state employee,
Oh my gosh.
which I call, yeah, that part, that right there. I call that. All right. So,
Yeah.
all right, good people.
That was interesting. It was better than that.
Good show. Good show.
So,
We're here with,
Kinaya.
Morgan the lawyer.
and I am Larry Taylor, the real life lawyer, and this is Tailor Made Conversations. And real life lawyer is spelled with a Y and not an I because it's not about I, it's about you. Out.
I don't ever slow up, no I don't take shit. I got no love for the fakeness. If you wanna play tough and wanna hate this, although